On May 20th, 2021, everything came to a sudden, violent end. That evening, Boog was sitting inside a car with a 25-year-old male companion. They were parked on Dort Place, a quiet street in Columbus, Ohio. This was around 5 in the evening, so it wasn't late, and nothing seemed unusual. But out of nowhere, a group of armed men suddenly approached the vehicle. Before Boog and her companion came to the realization of what was happening, the men had surrounded and demanded that they hand over all their belongings. But Boog, known for her bold and fearless personality, wasn't the type to give in easily. So, she stood up for herself and fought back the robbers. But her resistance was met with a barrage of bullets.
I want to give a huge shout out to all my followers, all my supporters, anybody that has streamed Hot Topic, Hardaway, or Risky. I love you and thank you. Shout out to my team, Music the Label. Shout out to all my producers, my engineers, everybody that's been putting in work. We had 500,000 views on YouTube. 3 videos in, all 3 videos got 100K and up, and I'm finna drop again.
That was the 26-year-old rising Columbus rapper
younger than that,
who went by the stage name Boog the Bandit. On May 20th, 2021, Boog was out on the streets of Columbus, Ohio, to carry out some shady business deals with a 25-year-old male companion. The couple were sitting inside a car parked on Dort Place, waiting for the deal to go down, when a group of armed men suddenly approached their vehicle out of nowhere. Before Boog and her companion had time to react, the men had surrounded them and demanded that they hand over all their belongings. Her companion did as the robbers asked, but Boog, being the strong-headed street girl she was, stood up for herself and fought back the robbers. But sadly, her resistance we met with a barrage of bullets.
If you in a car and they hop out, they all outside the car and they got pipes looking at pointing at you, how is you not John Wick? You not finna like, you know what I'm saying? You not finna do nothing crazy like that, gang. Just give it up. Everything you try to give, all materialist, like you fried, gang.
She was bleeding out and fighting for her life. The robbers grabbed whatever they could and fled the scene. That was when her companion quickly drove her to a nearby hospital in the same vehicle they had been in. Unfortunately, Boog lost the fight for life and succumbed to her injuries around 6 o'clock that evening. At first glance, this tragic incident looked at a typical case of a robbery gone wrong. But as investigators started digging, the truth behind what really happened that night would make your blood boil, because this girl really didn't have to die, not in such a horrific way.
Dang, she fried, had a whole career, threw it away.
Sometimes, life gives people second chances. Some take it and change their lives, while others don't get the time to see where their new path could lead. Boog the Bandit, whose real name was Courtney Nicole Bruce, was one of those people. She had talent, determination, and a dream that was finally starting to come true. But just when it seemed like her life was turning around, everything was taken away in an instant.
She says her daughter's rapping career was taking off and that Courtney was planning on moving to Atlanta, but stayed to take care of Wanda. The grieving mother tells me her daughter would have been safer in Atlanta.
Oh God, and I already know how that feels because I live in the same state. It's bad, and I want to move to a whole nother state, but I won't leave because my mama. So I know how it is, gang.
Out of the pit, it was somebody tried to pull you down.
Courtney Bruce was born on September 7th, 1994, in Columbus, Ohio. She grew up in a city that wasn't always easy to succeed in, especially for young black artists trying to make a name for themselves. But Courtney was different. She had big dreams, and she wasn't afraid to chase them.
She had a big personality and a big future ahead of her. That's how Courtney Bruce, better known as Boog the Bandit's mom, described the up-and-coming rapper.
She almost made it.
From a young age, she had a strong sense of style and confidence. She started out as a model, working with well-known brands like Chris Brown's Black Pyramid clothing line and Rob Kardashian's Arthur George brand. Modeling gave her a taste of the spotlight, but it wasn't enough. She wanted something more, something that could allow her to express herself in a deeper way. That's when she turned to music.
DM and DM again. Everybody want to know how I started modeling. Long story short, I went up to New York, met some of the best people I have ever encountered in my whole entire life. Wow. And it just changed my perspective on a lot of shit. It wasn't something that was supposed to happen. I just seen a bigger and better picture than from where I'm from, Columbus, Ohio, where don't nobody make it out. Everybody grow up and get stuck in. That's where I'm from. I went up there. I seen life. I gotta make something shake. It ain't even about being fresh and best dressed and looking sweet all the time. No, I model because I want people to look at me and be like, damn, she wanted me to feel this way and I felt this way. I'm trying to be transparent, like through and through. I want people to see through and through me, man. I ain't never know how to express myself. I do that through art, fashion. I'm about to get on this music wave, man. Like, I'm gonna be that person, you feel me? I am the difference. That's just how I always felt about myself. I never knew how to express it.
Courtney didn't just want to be a pretty face in the industry. She wanted to be heard. She wanted to tell stories, share her struggles, and connect with people. So she made a bold move. She started making music. It wasn't an easy switch. Columbus had a competitive underground rap scene, and breaking into it required more than just talent. It took dedication and resilience. But Courtney, now going by the stage name Boog the Bandit, was up for the challenge. Her music was different. She didn't just rap about money, fame, and parties. She poured her emotions into her songs. She talked about loneliness, heartbreak, and the struggles of trying to find love and success. Her style was a mix of hip-hop, R&B, and pop, and it caught people's attention right away.
Yeah, she got the good music. She know how to dress. On God, she already kind of known. On God, she gonna blow.
In 2020, she released a song called Hot Topic, and it quickly took off. The track gained over 400,000 views on YouTube, proving that she had something special. People loved her unique sound, and it wasn't long before bigger names in the industry started noticing her.
This a new old thing. Shorty back and she better type thing. Drama free, she a queen type thing. And she ballin' a whole new league. This a new old thing. Shorty change like the weather type thing. Cuff you up for the winter type thing. Fly you down for the summer type thing.
Her authenticity, combined with her talent, made her stand out. She wasn't afraid to be vulnerable in her lyrics, and people connected with that. Her next songs, Hard Away and Risky, released in 2021, further solidified her as an artist to watch.
Every time we touch down,
No, I'm not. I wish I was.
City with the top down. You know you can always get it all from me. Long as you don't ever give your heart away. Your heart away. You know I keep you iced out. Anything you want,
that ad-lib, I keep you iced out. Trippy.
your heart away. You know I keep you iced out. Anything you want, yeah, cash
Trippy. I wish I was a social media influencer.
Long as you don't
Nah,
ever
bro.
give your heart away, heart away. Better always keep that shit for me.
Hey, nigga, God gon' strike me down whenever I'm lying. Put that shit on my soul.
On my soul.
I don't wanna fall in love, yeah, it's kinda risky. Lately I've been popping off, so pass the perk, please. Shorty, I might dodge a bullet if you try to hit me. And I'll be there before I love you, shorty, under 6 feet. I don't wanna fall in love.
Each track showed a different side of her pain, her strength, and her ambition. She had a voice that was both raw and powerful. She even caught the attention of DJ Academics.
No, forget DJ Academics. I'ma call him DJ Freakademics. Forget bro.
And a fellow Ohio native, Chippy Red, both of whom saw her potential. It was clear that Boog was on her way to something big. But despite all the success she was starting to have, behind the scenes, Boog was still fighting to leave behind a past that threatened to pull her back in. And as her career was taking off, forces beyond her control were beginning to take shape. Forces that would ultimately lead to a tragic and heartbreaking end. Success isn't always a straight path. Sometimes people have to go through dark times before they find the light. And for Boog the Bandit, life had been anything but easy. Before she was known as Boog the Bandit, Courtney Bruce was just a regular young woman on the streets of Columbus, trying to figure out her place in the world. But like many people growing up in tough environments, she made some mistakes along the way. In 2017, Courtney got caught up in something that would change her life forever. She was arrested for conspiracy to commit bank fraud. The details of the case weren't widely talked about.
She was doing printing checks? What you mean,
but what mattered most was the outcome. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison. For many people, going to prison feels like the end. It's a place that can break a person. But for Courtney, it became a wake-up call and made her. When she was finally released in 2019, she wasn't the same person who had walked in. She had lost time, but she wasn't going to lose herself. She was determined to prove that her past wouldn't define her, and she knew exactly how she was going to do it, through music. Prison gave Courtney time to think. It made her realize what she wanted out of life. She didn't want to be remembered as just another statistic. She didn't want people to look at her and only see her mistakes. That's why, after her release, she went all in on her music career. She started writing, recording, and putting everything she had into making songs that meant something to her. Through songs like Lonely and Heart Away, she shared her struggles, her regrets, and her hopes for the future. Fans connected with her honesty. They saw a young woman who had been through hard times, but was fighting to rise above it all. And then, she took things one step further. Music wasn't the only thing that changed in Courtney's life. She also felt the need to reconnect with her faith. On Valentine's Day 2021, she made a decision that shocked everyone as she got baptized. This was a fresh start for her and a way to let go of the past and step into a new future. She wanted to leave behind her mistakes, her regrets, and anything that had been holding her back. She even shared a message about it saying, "You're not going anywhere in life without God leading you." This moment was symbolic for her because she truly believed she was walking into a better life. She was changing, not just for herself, but for the people who believed in her. She was finally in a place where her dreams were coming true. She was making music, gaining attention, and proving to everyone that she had turned her life around. But sometimes, no matter how hard a person tries to escape the past, it finds a way back. And in Boog's case, that past would come knocking at the worst possible time.
She says she doesn't want Courtney to be remembered as another homicide statistic.
She was loved. Even through her tribulation and trials and stuff, she tried to make the best of things. She made mistakes. We all do.
Boog the Bandit had been working hard to build a better future. She had turned her life around, focused on her music, and was finally gaining recognition. But on May 20th, 2021, everything came to a sudden, violent end. That evening, Boog was sitting inside a car with a 25-year-old male companion. They were parked on Dort Place, a quiet street in Columbus, Ohio. This was around 5 in the evening, so it wasn't late, and nothing seemed unusual. But out of nowhere, a group of armed men suddenly approached the vehicle. Before Boog and her companion came to the realization of what was happening, the men had surrounded and demanded that they hand over all their belongings. But Boog, known for her bold and fearless personality, wasn't the type to give in easily. So, she stood up for herself and fought back the robbers. But her resistance was met with a barrage of bullets. Her companion fled to safety, while the robbers grabbed what they could and disappeared into the night, leaving Boog bleeding inside the car.
Wait, what you mean, gang? Was she driving or was he driving? Cause like, what you mean you just left her? Like, what you mean, gang? Like, you ain't just, bro, they robbed y'all and then you ran, or they made you get out the car? Like, I would have took off. Like, I don't know, bro.
She was in her car on her way to do someone's hair, her mom said. Columbus police say in an attempted robbery, a group of men with guns surrounded the car on Dort Place and started assaulting the rapper. Witnesses say they heard 2 shots. Then they heard the car drive off. Then they heard another shot.
Once the robbers drove away, her companion returned to the scene and quickly rushed her to Mount Carmel East Hospital. Boog was just barely holding on to life at this point, and the doctors did all they could to save her, but nothing they did made any difference. At 6:11 p.m., doctors pronounced Boog the Bandit dead. She was only 26 years old, and just
crazy,
like that,
bruh.
a life filled with dreams, talent, and potential was gone. As news of her death spread, people were left with so many questions. Was this targeted attack, or a case of a robbery gone wrong? Did anyone set Boog up, or was she just at the wrong place at the wrong time? At first, the details were unclear. Police only knew that this was more than just a simple robbery. Something about it felt personal and right. So investigators would uncover something that would turn this case on its head.
What? Nah,
The murder
bro.
of Boog, the bandit, shocked everyone who had followed her journey. This girl was young, talented, and on the verge of something big. Now she was gone, and the people who loved her were left with only one goal: to get justice for her. And the police wasted no time helping them achieve that goal, as they started gathering evidence immediately to figure out who was responsible for Boog's death and if she was actually targeted. For starters, this crime happened in a residential neighborhood, and it wasn't a place where crimes like this usually happened in broad daylight. So, investigators believed that someone had to know something. They started by talking to witnesses around the area, and some of them admitted that they had heard the gunshots. Others said they had seen the gunmen running from the scene. While this information was helpful, it really didn't do much in helping investigators apprehend the killers. So, they turned to the security cameras in the area. If the shooters had driven to the scene or left on foot, there was a chance that one of the cameras had caught something useful.
Man's about to
And
be a
soon
back
enough,
door.
the first major break in the case came. Just a few days after Boog's death,
Hey,
police
you smiling? You get caught and you smiling?
arrested 22-year-old Kyson Murphy. They believed he was one of the men involved in the
What?
robbery and shooting. Murphy was charged with murder and aggravated robbery. Police didn't say right away how they connected him to the crime, but some of the evidence they had must have pointed them in his direction.
Police have arrested a 22-year-old man and charged him with the death of a Columbus rapper. Kyson Murphy is charged with murder and aggravated robbery. He's accused of shooting and killing Courtney Bruce, known by her stage name, Boog the Bandit.
I said
Bruce
Bug
was
Brick.
killed
Oh my
during
God,
an
don't
attempted
kill me.
robbery back in May. Murphy is currently being held at the Franklin County Jail.
While he was in custody, helped investigators identify the two other suspects who had carried out the operation with him. The second suspect was the one who pulled the trigger, 20-year-old Sincere McIntyre, and the
Sincere?
third was 22-year-old Jamada Williams II. The trio had set up a fake meeting with Boog and her companion,
That's how it
making
be.
them believe it was for a business deal related to drugs and rap video production. But in reality, they
was
were
a
waiting
robbery.
to ambush them and steal everything they had, and they were able to successfully steal their
So-
jewelry, phones, and over $113,000 in cash.
God,
Once
but
all-
what is you doing while running around with $113,000 in cash in the hood? You tweaking, shawty. What?
Three men were in custody. Prosecutors moved quickly to bring them
Let
to
me
justice.
find out they came
but
up
rather
like
than
that.
risk a trial, McIntyre and Williams decided to plead guilty. McIntyre admitted to murder, while Williams pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and aggravated robbery. As part of their plea deal, Sincere McIntyre was sentenced to life in prison with the
Damn.
possibility of parole after 18 years. Jamada Williams was sentenced to 20 to 25 years in prison for involuntary
God.
manslaughter and aggravated robbery, while Kyson Murphy, who also pleaded guilty to the same charges, faced a sentence of 12 to 16 years.
Wow,
These prison
bro.
sentences might have served as justice in this case.
Hey, by the time y'all get out that 100,000, what's it? What's 100,000? What is it, like 33.5? Let's see, 100,000 divided by 3. Divided by 3. Yeah, it's like 33,003. Yeah, $33,333. If y'all see, y'all see. You feel me? That money is gonna run out by the time y'all get out of prison. So was it really worth it? Ask yourself, was it really worth it? You feel me? Like, y'all fried.
For Boog's family, no sentence would ever be enough.
Right, oh God.
Boog the
Oh,
Bandit's
God.
death left a hole in the hearts
Imagine
of those
you had somebody that was in the rap game, that was doing hair, that was a model, that was just out here meeting the rappers, like out here doing their thing, about to make it out the hood, which a lot of people out don't even make it out the hood. You feel what I'm saying? And they doing their thing, and then they let their old habits dictate where they go in their future. They mess up. One mistake cost them the rest of their life, bro. That's sad, gang.
who
I
loved
ain't gonna
her.
lie.
Her mother does want her to be remembered as another name on a list of crime victims. She was a young woman who had fought to turn her life around. She had
Hey,
dreams,
different, ain't
and
gonna
she
lie.
was on her way to something big. But now, her family was left grieving. Her fans were left wondering what could have been, and the city of Columbus had lost one of its brightest rising stars.
She says she doesn't want Courtney to be remembered as another homicide statistic.
She was loved.
That's crazy, gang.
Even through her tribulation and trials and stuff, she tried to make the best of things. She made mistakes. We all do.
This tragedy is especially hard for Boog's mother, Wanda Bruce.
Courtney was a hot tamale. Spicy,
Tamale.
determined, true to her nature. She knew who she was.
She had always worried about her daughter's safety. Wanda knew her daughter was trying to leave the past behind. She was focused on music, trying to make a name for herself. But in a city where crime and violence is all part of the daily hustle and bustle, Wanda feared that Boog was still at risk.
Wanda says she never thought her daughter would be taken like this.
No.
But she did worry about her safety.
Damn.
I always been nervous because I'm a mom. I always worry about her safety, her being small, petite.
And then, her worst fear came true.
For her to get pistol with me and shot in the chest and multiple times. I heard that wasn't called for. Even though she put up a fight.
Standing in court, listening to the sentences handed down to the men who killed her daughter, Wanda was frustrated and heartbroken. She wanted to know, why do they get to live their lives, but my baby doesn't?
Damn.
No amount of prison time would ever bring Boog back. No sentence could erase the pain that her family now carried every single day. Boog. The bandit's story is a painful reminder that success doesn't always protect people from violence. She did everything right. She changed her life. She worked hard.
That's
she was
crazy,
focused on
man.
building a better future. But
Real
none of that
talk.
stopped her from being targeted. In fact, it was her success that put her out there. Her death was senseless. It didn't have to happen. And that's the hardest part for those who loved her, knowing that a young woman with so much potential was killed over greed, jealousy, and money.
Hey, but they heard she had $100,000, bro. They probably heard, hey, she walking around with 100,000. Come get it. Oh God, anybody in the trenches hear that, bro? They come to get it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you live in the trenches and you grow up there, you should know that you shouldn't be walking around with even half of that on you, bro. Let's keep it 100, bro. Even if you got 50,000 on you, bro, you know you shouldn't have that. 20 shouldn't have that. 10 shouldn't have that. Because people in the hood, they ain't even got a quarter of that. Even if you got 5 on you, you shouldn't have that. Because people in the hood ain't got that. You feel what I'm saying? And people don't want to do the work. They rather take what you got. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what happens, bro. You feel me? You was around the wrong person, obviously, bro. I don't know if you set up that thing or he set up that thing, bro, you was with. That's crazy, though, gang. I understand you ain't want to give it up, though, because it's 100,000. Think about that. Like, she's like, this 100,000 ain't on my jury. I ain't giving that up. You feel what I'm saying? She was not going, and they took it. They was going to take that. Either way, that's crazy, man. Make sure you rest in peace, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this video down below in the comment section. It's crazy, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all stay safe out here in the trenches for real.